You're listening to B2B Tech Talk with Ingram Micro, the place to learn about new technology and technological advances before they become mainstream. This special edition 1 episode is sponsored by Cisco, taking your business a level up. Let's get into it.
Welcome back to B2B Tech Talk with Ingram Micro. I'm your guest host today, Logan Lyles with Sweetfish Media. We're recording on site in Denver, Colorado at the Ingram Micro ONE event. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about some upcoming Meraki licensing process changes. We're joined on this episode by Clay Carpenter. He is Solution Sales Executive at Ingram Micro. Clay, how's it going today, man?
Good, Logan. How you doing, man?
I am doing fantastic. Having a really good time at the event this week. How about yourself?
Having a blast. Meeting to meeting, but it's been great.
Right?
This building is humongous.
Yeah.
Trying to transverse this place back and forth, it's a lot.
Yeah, and taking over the whole place. It's been fun. So let's give people a little bit of background for those that don't know. What is Meraki licensing and how does it work, man?
So Meraki is a product that's truly born in the cloud. It started with a couple guys out of MIT. They just really wanted to see if they could connect a bunch of people in Boston, just via wireless out in the city. And so what they did was they created their first Meraki access point. Google saw it right away and was like, we need to get on these guys. We need to fund them. We need to get them rolling. So Google was the first investor. And from there, it really took off, set up an office out in San Francisco. And now they're the multi-billion-dollar company that Cisco purchased. So they're really a company born in the cloud, and they do operate that way a lot. So
Yeah, MIT and Google coming together, there's bound to be some good things happening.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Some talent involved.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the two main types of licensing models that Meraki supports and how really they're different.
Yeah. So basically, Meraki has two main ways of doing licensing. The first way, the traditional way, is called their co-termination method.
Okay.
So today, if you buy 3 different appliances, say you're buying an access point, a switch, and a firewall, you're buying licensing on each one. Right, and what it does is it kind of combines all of those with one co-termination date.
Right.
Basically meaning it's just going to end at the same time. You don't have to worry about, making sure you refresh the firewall, then refresh the access points, and refresh the switch. And they still are doing that now. That's their common method. They don't really want to get away from it too much. But what they are introducing, which a lot of partners are excited about, and we're at Ingram we're excited about, is their new per device license model. So what that's going to be is you can purchase licensing, like I said, for the switch, the firewall, and the access point. But what you can do is now invest in a longer-term license for your firewall if you want, and then kind of shorter-term for your access points because those tend to get refreshed a little bit quicker. Mm-hmm. Maybe a shorter term for the switches. So it's kind of a cool way for them to offer more versatility to the partners as far as what license they want to go with. So the per device license model also offers us a very good way of tracking, right? So a lot of partners have a tough time kind of tracking down their Meraki renewals because if you sold them 3 devices a year ago and then you added something 6 months later because you realized they were missing something, you got a new date, you don't know when it's gonna refresh. So a lot of partners are excited about the per device because they think it's going to be able to help them track their renewals a lot better.
Yeah, so what I hear you saying is there's flexibility because you might not want everything coterminous depending on refresh cycles and things like that, and then simplicity on the back end, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And currently the per device license model, if you're very comfortable with the co-term, that's what you're born and bred with Meraki, you can kind of stick with that still. It's an opt-in method.
Okay.
So they're currently allowing partners to opt in, and I don't see them pushing anybody to go strictly with the per device for probably a good year or so still. So you have a lot of time to kind of get used to the new model if you're comfortable with the old one, and it's good. I think they're taking the right approach.
Yeah, I like that. So tell us a little bit about different license tiers or additions with what's going on here.
Sure. So traditionally Meraki only had one license available per device, right? So it was kind of if you have an access point, you're buying the access point license. If you have the switch, you're buying the switch license, and so on and so forth. So with the access points, the cool new thing they're doing is they have an enterprise license, which is a standard, just making sure it gives you access to the Meraki dashboard. You can manage all your clients in there. But what they're doing now is they're adding an advanced tier so you can put Umbrella on top of that. So that's kind of born out of Cisco and Meraki's relationship and kind of sharing ideas and sharing growth. So they can you can purchase now the Meraki Advanced license to kind of have Umbrella for your customers, just adds a layer of security, and it makes it really easy on the partners too.
Gotcha. Are there some other recent changes that partners should know about Meraki? or is it mostly just the licensing model and both of those two options that you were talking about?
Yeah, I would say the main thing is that they're always innovating, right? They just had a new partner launch at Partner Summit 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I haven't even had a chance to dive into what that product is and what it does. I do know that it's something that a lot of partners are excited for. So they are constantly innovating. So when you walk into the San Francisco office at Meraki, they got 4 floors, right? You got your sales floor, you got your ops floor, you got your a global floor, which is just like LATAM and all that stuff. And then you get up to that engineering floor, and it's very secret, very locked down. So I would say Meraki's specialty is really innovating and producing new products. And it's kind of why Cisco has allowed them to operate almost autonomously from Cisco, because they are constantly coming out with new products, and you can't argue with success.
I love it. I love it. So one of the final questions we love to ask guests on this show is where they see technology going over the next year. A big trend that you've got your eye on, a prediction if you're a predictions guy. Tell us a little bit about where you see things going over the next year or so.
So I would say, kind of in my conversations here when I've been in Denver, I think one thing a lot of partners are going to be adopting, and a lot of technology, it's going to be a necessity, is having an app developer on staff, right? Somebody to develop an application for these MSPs, especially when we're talking about Meraki, to kind of package your own service, and then you can kind of manage it from a NOC, a SOC, whatever that case may be. So it's kind of having somebody that can develop those applications so you can kind of brand it yourself. And I think that's going to be, everyone's going to have that soon. And it's something a lot of people don't really want to go with right now, but Cisco's trying to get on the page of creating a app development specialization. I think that's definitely where we're going to be in the next year. Is you're going to see a lot of partners hiring app developers coming out of college. So if you're looking for a job opportunity, that's probably a good place to start.
Yeah, that's a great takeaway, man. So if people listening to this would like to learn more about Meraki or follow up with you, stay connected with you, what's the best way for them to learn more or to reach out?
Yeah, so I would definitely say go right to ingramicro.com and go to I believe we have a Meraki page right on there. You can reach me there. My name's Clay Carpenter. Definitely always happy to talk Meraki. Always happy to get our partners set up and squared away there. We also have Kevin Wills on the inside. He's a great resource. He's kind of taken over a lot of the Meraki stuff I was doing before. So either one of us, reach out. We can get you squared away.
I love it. Clay, thanks so much for sitting down with me, taking time out of the event, and being a guest on the show, man.
Yeah, anytime.
Awesome. All right. That wraps it up for another episode of the B2B Tech Talk. If you'd like to join this discussion, you can follow up with Clay, as he mentioned, or you can join the discussion on Twitter. Look us up at Ingram Tech Soul or use the hashtag B2B Tech Talk. Thanks as always for tuning in to B2B Tech Talk with Ingram Micro. And if you're not already subscribed to this show, make sure to do so in Apple Podcasts or wherever you do your listening.
You've been listening to B2B Tech Talk with Ingram Micro. This special edition 1 episode is sponsored by Cisco. B2B Tech Talk is a joint production by Sweetfish Media and Ingram Micro. Ingram Micro production handled by Laura Burton and Christine Fan. To not miss an episode, subscribe today in your favorite podcast player.